how do we preserve this? How do we save this so that it can last and it can stand for another 100 years? My name is Heather Vasquez Johnson. I am an associate with Johnson Nathan STROHE, and I was the project manager for this project. We approached this from kind of a macro scale and looking at it and how it relates to the city, and more importantly, on a more micro scale, how it relates to this beautiful little architectural gem of Hose House number 1.
Just as the architecture team looked at the historical context for the site, we were also drawing inspiration from history in informing our design decisions for the interiors. My name is Lizzie Ager, and I'm an interior designer for Johnson Nathan STROHE.
There is an element of something that is very new, is very modern, is very contemporary, but at the same time is still very rooted in its history. We really wanted to work with that, celebrate that, and kind of be respectful of the importance of this little building.
You can see that in the industrial touches like the raw concrete with the visible aggregate that we've used that's polished on the floors of the lobby. It's really beautiful, and it also harkens back to the industrial roots of the site.
Hose House number 1 was unfortunately in very poor condition when we got our hands on it. It had experienced fire damage and water damage, and we met with one structural engineer who was afraid to even go in the building.
We found it was very important to celebrate where this building's roots are from.
We did have to work very closely with landmark preservation on the design of the property. We've wrapped the hotel building and the new construction in an L shape around the Hose House. Really gave us the opportunity to turn the short leg of the L into this little glass jewel box, so that at night when the lights are on, when there's activity, you can see it from behind. It draws you in like a lantern and it tells you where to go.
It represents a new phase of growth for this neighborhood.
It's incredibly contextual. It responds 100% to the Hose House that's next to it.
We always want to find the history and speak to that in some way.
We've captured the daylight, we've captured, the spirit of Denver and the feeling of the neighborhood.
In the lobby space in particular, in the ceiling there's an abstraction of the city skyline. We wanted to make an experience that feels urban, but that also feels a bit familiar.
We started working on this project in 2012, a labor of love, but we're very excited that it's here.